gamers, welcome back to another episode of What's in the Box here on Game Master's Dungeon. I am Brian, your Game Master, and today we're going to look at what's inside the box for the Celestant Prime of the Stormcast Eternals for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Now, I've had this model for quite a while. I actually think I pre-ordered it. It's just been on the shelf over there, like on a list of things to build and put together. But I kind of want to show you what's inside because it's a really cool looking model. I'm really excited to get it built, painted, and on the table. So we're going to jump right in. We'll be back in a second. Alright, gamers, welcome. So this is the Celestant Prime, the Hammer of Sigmar for the Stormcast Eternals army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So obviously the front of the box, it's a beautiful painted miniature there on the front. It's a good sized box too. You know, it's about 1 foot by 8 inches or so, size of like a regular, maybe like a regular sheet of paper. On the back, you've got some really cool, like the back painted, a side view, some close-ups of the different parts, like Galmarez, the hammer, his comet sphere, and then like for this scheme right here, it's got like these are all the colors that use like from Citadel range. But let's get dug in here. So we're gonna take out the top of the box, set this guy aside. So obviously we got the huge base. If we look at my hands, I have pretty good sized hands. All right, so it's got the really big base. Like some of the Forge World stuff comes on these, right? Super cool. Let's look at this first sprue. Alright, so this first sprue. So we've got, looks like something to put on the base. It looks like rocks to me. We can get it up there. Looks like rocks and things. So here, this is part of that, what do they call this thing? Well, that's a good question. Let's take a look. I'm looking in this super secret rulebook. So this is what they call part of the Orrery of Celestial Fates. I'll go over the rules here in a minute. So as you can see, it's like this swirling little galaxy. Let's see if we can get up there. See if we can see the little bits, like the little comets and stars and planets swirling around in there. Because if you look at how it's painted, we can get right up in there. Whoop, see? So it's going to look really, really cool once it's all painted. Here's another piece of it over here. And then this is one of his wing sections for his back. Really big set. So if you looked at the prosecutors, they have the same kind of wing set with the same design with the fire on there. Okay, and then we've got the big hammer itself, Galmarez, the Hammer of Sigmar. And then also we've got, looks like it's one of the, there's 2 arms in this sprue, and I'll show you the other one. So his comet sphere, or his like scepter that he uses. It's pretty cool. It's like a living comet on a wand or a scepter. It's like a staff looking thing. It's pretty cool. Like if you look at, let's see, let's get the box art again here. So like there it is as it's painted. All right, it's pretty cool. There's the hammer. Alright, so there's that first sprue. It's got some pretty cool bits on it. There's only 2 sprues. Honestly, let's break them up here. Make it easier to manage. So this sprue was obviously one thing that you get in there. It was like that. Just broke it in half. So here we have the other sections of the Orrery of Celestial Fates. Right there. You can see all the cool detail on there. The other wing section. This looks like and then this is like the top. Maybe that's Now maybe that's the bottom portion. It's the bottom portion of his big, huge, flowy cloak. And if you look right here, I don't know if I can get it to see it, right here on the bottom, the orrery melds into his cape. Or his cloak or whatever. Because you can see it right there. It's pretty cool. I just noticed that actually. We've got a spare hand here that has a little piece cut out to hold like the top part of the fist. You know, it's like it's cut off like right here. You know, it's supposed to be holding the scepter. It's cut off like right there. Then there's some of like the tassels and stuff, like his heraldry that goes on his shoulders and his cloak and all that stuff. Then here's all the cool bits. So here's like the second part. Obviously the big feature is the top portion of the cloak right here, of the cape or whatever you want to call it, right? And it's got like lightning bolts and it's got some runes along the side. I don't know if I can get it up there to get it to see it. Pretty cool. The front part of his chest is like a big lion's head, which is pretty cool. And then there's one of the legs. And see, here's the other scepter with right there, if you can see that little nub, right where my thumb is there. The front portion of the hand that you can glue to the other hand. Why they would give you both or two options like that build pretty much the same arm, no idea. We do have all kinds of little bits. I don't even know what you call that. Let's take a look at the front of the box. Let's see. So it looks like some of it like goes on the ground there. A couple pieces that look like that. There's some more of it right there. Those little bits. It looks like they could be part of the orrery. Like if you look at how it looks, like some of them look like they're supposed to go together. Obviously, when we look at the instruction manual, we will get a better sense. And there's the headpiece right there. It's kind of cool. I think all in all, it's a really, really good looking model. It's got a lot of fine detail. It's going to be real fun to paint. A lot of these runes. Like if you look at this, so this tapestry right here on the kind of coming out of the lion's mouth. If I can get it up there, all those runes on there to paint. But they're actually easy to paint, but they look really good when you get them painted. And then like his like this part of the cloak right here. So like here, so here's the cloak top part. Like here's like the top part and the shoulders. Goes down, they wind all the way. This is kind of how he attaches to the base. Some of the extra pieces that give him base support. Like the model is probably going to be, you know, about maybe a little shorter than that sprue. I mean, I guess with the wings and everything, he could be about as tall as that sprue-ish. Obviously, once I get it built and painted, maybe I'll put some pictures over on the Facebook page for Game Master's Dungeon, and so you guys can see what it looks like. Or maybe even once I get it built, get a little tape measure next to it, see how tall it is. Alright, the instruction manual. It's actually pretty lengthy, to be honest. Because it's got, obviously, this is the recommended tools that you need. Clippers, glue, da-da-da-da-da-da, right? All of that. So let's look at like here. So it starts... Glue this piece onto the base. So this is just building, starting with the orrery. You're building it. Look at all that. All right. And then this is like a side angle of what it looks like after the first part. We're still building. We're still building that base. More bits, more bits. Here's a side angle shot. More bits, more bits, more bits. More bits. Another side angle shot of where we're looking at, kind of like a top-down shot. like angular shots, another side shot. All right, it's crazy how this thing goes together. It might even be worth painting this, like building sections of it and painting it, because I have no idea. Because looking at that, it's going to be tough to get into the inside bits to really make it all look good. Because most of the orrery is visible, regardless of what angle you're looking at the model. So you're going to want to be able to get on the inside of it to be able to get it all painted. And obviously, so this is just building him. All right, looks all, goes like the front and the back of the torso, putting the legs on, like a finished product at this stage. All right. More parts, so adding the arms with the weapons. The two different options for the Comet Strike Scepter, and then Galmarez. You can hold it up, or there's another option of holding it farther down on the haft, so like where the head's like up here, he's holding it here, or he can hold it like up here at the top. You know, a couple of options of what it looks like. One with the arms down, one with the arms up. Pretty cool, right? This is like, now we're getting close to getting done here. Now we're attaching the Prime directly to the orrery. Now we're building the backpack with the wings, and then attaching the wings to the model. We don't need the other languages. Obviously I don't speak them, but obviously they do come in several other languages, the rules. Here's the finished product. It's different angles, right? So let's look at the stats here. So he's got move at 12, 8 wounds, 10 bravery. He's got a 3+ save. So he's got 2 weapons. He's got the missile weapon of the Comet Strike Scepter. Melee weapon is Galmarez, the Hammer of Sigmar. The Comet Strike Scepter has a 24-inch range, and then all of its stuff is C below. We'll take a look at that in a second. Galmarez has got a range of 2 inches. It has 2 attacks, hits on a 3-up, wounds on a 2-up, rend at a -3, and it does 3 damage per hit. Well, you're like, oh, only 2 attacks? Well, let's look at some of this. So, description here. So he's a single model. He wields the hammer and the Comet Strike Scepter. You can only include 1 Celestant Prime in your army, and the Celestant Prime can fly. Abilities, Comet Strike Scepter. In your shooting phase, the Celestant Prime can hold the Comet Strike Scepter aloft to seize a comet from the heavens, then send it crashing down amid the enemy. If he does so, pick a point on the battlefield within range, so 24 inches, and roll a dice. Each unit within that many inches of that point suffers D3 mortal wounds. So you're like, oh, I want it over here, and I roll a dice, so I get a 6. Everybody within 6 inches of that takes D3, or every wound, or every unit takes D3 mortal wounds. Like, that's crazy good. You're just, I'm gonna pew, boom, kill stuff that's got good armor or multi-wounds, things like that. That's hard, maybe hard for you to deal with. There's Retribution on high. Instead of setting him up normally on the battlefield, you place him to one side, almost kind of like reserves if you play Warhammer 40k. You must, let's see. So in each of your movement phases, you must decide whether he will strike from the heavens or remain in the celestial realm. Imbuing Galmarez with additional energies. So for each round that he remains in the celestial realm, you add 2 to the attack's characteristic of Galmarez until the end of the battle. When he strikes from the heavens, set him up on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from enemy models. This is his move for that movement phase. Until your next hero phase, subtract 2 from the bravery of all models in any enemy unit within 12 inches of him. He just comes down, boom. He's ready to go. He can shoot his Comet Strike Scepter. So he can just start nuking stuff. Anybody that's dumb enough to assault him, you know, say you pick 3 rounds. So turn 4, you bring him in. So he's got 8 attacks now. Hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s. Like, he will decimate anything he hits. And then the Orrery of Celestial Fates. A Storm of Energy, this thing underneath him here. Swirls around him, granting him mystical insights that aid him in battle. So once per turn, you can change the roll of 1 dice for the Celestant Prime to a roll of your choice before applying your modifiers. All right, so say you throw out the Comic Strike Scepter. I want it right here. You can be like, well, instead of rolling the dice, I'm just going to make it a 6. Everybody within 6 inches. Or you roll the dice, you get like a 5. Okay, instead of that D3, I'm just going to make it, I'm going to roll, technically I'm going to roll a 6, which is a 3. So now everybody takes 3. Everybody takes 3 mortal wounds. All right? Fantastic model. Okay, so you get the instruction book. You get these. You get 1 big sprue that I broke in half. Small sprue on top. You get your base. Top of the box. I think it's like 80, 85 bucks for this model. But if you're big into Stormcast Eternals, I think he's a great addition, especially with some of those new models that are out. So like Archaon, I don't know if you guys have seen that new model where he rides that 3-headed, what is it? Not a Hydra, like a Chimera, and it's huge. It's like this tall. It's crazy looking. Some of the models that they're putting out for Age of Sigmar are just gorgeous models, like the new dwarves. Or the, what is it, the fire, what do they call it? I forget what they're called, but basically the new dwarves. They all look like dwarf slayers from fantasy. They all have the beards, they're like butt naked, mohawks, things like that. Some of their models look really, really cool. So I think they're going in the right direction for models. Obviously the rules are kind of people's like interpretation if they're good or bad. But for this, we're just talking about this model. I give it thumbs up. So that's going to be it for this episode of What's in the Box. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this got you excited to pick up this model, build it, paint it, add it to your army. If you do, I would love to see some of those pictures. Obviously, I'm going to paint it my black scheme, my Anvils of the Heldenhammer, because in the fluff, he's supposed to take on the colors of whatever, I don't want to say Legion or whatever force that he joins, so the different color schemes. So he's going to look really good with those my reddish orange wings and my black armor and all that stuff. I think it's going to look great. So look forward to some pictures of that here sometime this year. So thanks for joining. We'll see you again on Game Master's Dungeon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe below. Check also in the comments or in the description below. There's going to be a link to the Facebook page. If you want to go over there, do some posts, post some pictures, some videos, things like that, and take a look at some of the work that I've been working on with my terrain and some of my other models, especially my 30K stuff. And also, if you like this video, share with your friends. I'd love to get the community built so we can all work together to make a better gaming community. But until next time, we'll see you again in Game Master's Dungeon.